he is a force of nature. And every time that we connect, I just leave just as if I've had rocket fuel. And I'll tell you, it's because the amazing Rich Kozak is rocket fuel for individuals to ensure their brand impacts people's lives and the world. He's the sage voice, listen to this, for impact-driven branding with 44 years of experience. He's beat me by 5 in every aspect of branding. Rich is a rare individual who guides people in branding that brings them joy. His mid-career radical sabbatical, that's interesting, shaped his life, focused him specifically on what impact-driven brands are doing. And now he's soon to be a 5-time published author. His story is about love, clarity, and alignment on purpose. Rich says that it's about defining your life, not just your business. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder and CEO of Rich Brands and Impact-Driven Publishing, the incredible, chocolatey good, Rich Kozak. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, I am so blessed. Happy Valentine's Day. Good morning. Happy Sunday and a lot of love.
It's so good to see you. I always love seeing you.
What an irony that a branding guy would talk about love. Like, what? Okay, we're going to get over that quickly. May I tell you a story?
Please tell us a story, Daddy.
Well, once upon a time, Kenny, I ran a high-tech ad agency with partners in 21 countries. I was addicted to my job, but I didn't know that yet. I would come home late at night and wake my 2 boys up, and we'd say a quick prayer, and it would sound like this: Lord, thank you for teaching us that there are only 2 things that you want us to do. We're here for 2 reasons: to share love and to praise God, and everything else is man-made. Okay, honey, now go back to bed. Now, the irony that I was addicted to my job and never around, but I could do that prayer. It's like, what? Okay, but fine. I'm over that now. That was a long time ago. But I quit branding when I turned 50, realized I was addicted to it. I quit. I don't do branding anymore. And I was brought back by people asking me for their help, but they were individuals. And I created a process based on the process we used to use with giant companies, $14 billion companies that wanted to move their brand from Germany to the United States, but the legalities were different. And so we helped them. You know, I was addicted to it. It was a buzz, an absolute buzz. But these days I work with individuals, and here's what landed on me. And I realized that the ability to do and see what we do is a gift. It's not a skill. I used to think it was a skill. There were heavy beat marks on my chest from doing, okay, you know, it's like it was about me, but it's not. When you have the gift to see what people can become, when you listen to what they talk about in their life, and you say, can I show you how that maps out? And they go, what? And by the time you're done, you have a picture you've held up a mirror to their heart and said, this is what I see in there. How close are we? And they go, oh my gosh, this is amazing. You actually get to help people not only build a strong platform for their business, but to step from that platform into their purpose. And that's what I do these days. So it is about love. You know, we learn. Anyway, so that was my story, my little story with the prayer. And I am a love guy. We just buried my mom, 100 years old in 5 months. And the legacy that we shared when we spoke at her recorded funeral 3,000 miles away, which I couldn't go to because I would have been in quarantine. It's like, it's crazy. But is that when I went through her house and found her Bible, which is red, by the way, so happy Valentine's Day. A lot of love in here. See, I could wear a red pocket handkerchief and do the same thing. Very worldly, very substantial. I'm just saying. I find prayer lists and I find underlines of asking God to bring clarity into her mind of what his will is in her life, and prayer lists of please help. She is from the South, from Southern United States. So she talks with a little accent. Please help my son, Richard, find a good woman and not spend too much time playing in those rock bands in those bars. That was like, you know, several decades ago. But And so we realized we speak about the legacy that we leave. And sometimes legacy is a legacy of faith. It's a legacy of lessons learned. It's a legacy of mistakes made. It's a legacy of assets built. It's a legacy. There are layers of legacy. And one of my clients talks about that constantly. When it's time in someone's life to take it to a higher level, when they're ready, and it sounds like this, boy, I've done this for 20 years and I really want to take this to a higher level. Man, I've had this business for 35 years, but we've been really successful, but I want to leave a legacy in the world. I want to share this with other people. I want to teach others so they can teach others. I want to train the trainers. I want to write and I want to speak, and people are ready to take it to another level. They think branding is the answer, but they're intimidated, frustrated, confused, misinformed by what branding really is. And I am going to reframe your idea of what it can be. The name of my presentation that I shared with you, or the theme of it, is When Work Becomes Love, Reshaping Your Life. When work becomes love. So what the heck does branding have to do with love? And what the heck does branding have to do with God's purpose that he puts in each one of us when he makes us? Because we're all here for a reason, unless there's nothing to this life. And you can be one of those people, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time with you. But it's like, we're here for a reason. And we either get to step into that gift, step into that purpose, or not. And when you have somebody who says, look, I had this job for 30 years and I'm over it. I'm going to do what I love, but I want to do it right. They think they need a brand, or they want to take it to another level because they've done it for so many years and they want to do it right. And they know branding is an answer, but they don't understand it. Or they've just created something like an expertise or a method or a product, and they know it'll touch people's lives and make the world a better place, but they're not a branding person. And they know all of those people are ready to take it to another level. Here's what can happen. This is what impact-driven branding is. You envision the brand, whatever you are, speaker, trainer, scientist, coach, whatever your business is, be it a manufacturer, it doesn't matter. I have clients of all types. You imagine that thriving. You think about it. What does it look like? What are you doing? Are you serving 200 clients in your backyard for the rest of your life? Or are you speaking through 200 languages all around the world? What are you doing when you thrive? Think about that. What's in your mind is in your life. So think about thriving. Now, answer the question. In your mind's eye, who are those people that you are absolutely clear? You can see it. You can clearly see them in your mind's eye that you can touch their lives. And you write those down. And don't tell me women feel better, or men get over the fact that they're not their job. Okay, I want to hear a woman 40 to 50 years old with a special needs child with autism finds a way to make herself abundant and leave a legacy for the child when she's gone. That's a who and a what. That's an impact statement. Give me a who and a what. I don't need 20 of them, and don't make a list. Let them come from your heart. So you write them down. I have a client who added a light wire to safety vests. He's going to change safety all over the world. That's the impacts we wrote for him are absolutely compelling. The way he changes individuals' lives and the world. So you write them down, who and what. Maybe you have 3, maybe you have 7, maybe you have 12, it doesn't matter. The moment you write those down and build clarity and specificity into those impact statements, here it is, wait for it. That brand can be defined to be the brand you must become to make those impacts. What characteristics must you become and get credit for? What expertises must you become and get credit for in priority order in order to make the impacts? Everything is impact driven. And when you do it that way, and when you do that work, everything the brand says and does aligns to the impacts. And you get to the impacts faster, and you get to this faster. And you might even discover the purpose of business is not this anymore. It's impact. What if everyone realized, everyone who is ready, because not everyone is ready. Not everyone is ready for impact-driven branding. They haven't gone through their life. They are not at the point in their journey. But when they're ready, what if everyone realized and shifted the purpose of business to impact instead of this? And you'd get there faster anyway. What a world would it be? And so the aha moment for me was realizing this is God's work. God put those desire for impacts in our hearts. Our mind's eye says, oh, I know I can help these people. Okay, so we get on with it. Now you might write down 7 impacts and you will absolutely reach those. You are gonna reach a whole bunch more. Just because you only write down 3 or 12 doesn't mean you're not gonna make any other ones, but you are certainly gonna race to those. And everything the brand says and does aligns and sends you there. What a God blessing. No confusion, no misinterpretation, no waiting, no wasting money on marketing, because everything's aligned. People jump into marketing and don't define who they are and really language their brand. And when that's done absolutely thoroughly, it is clarifying first and then aligning. So achieving clarity and envisioning the impacts you make on the world is such a gift. And the process that I'm doing every day with people, it's based on branding knowledge and branding expertise and branding process, but it's not about, see, your work is not why you're here. It's just a vehicle. But branding will help build a wonderful platform for that work and make it abundant so that you can step from that platform into your purpose. So when a client says, well, I'm not writing any books, and we define 3 books for them, and then they write their first book, or we have it written with them for them, and they start to get credit for their expertise and then move into and cross the bridge into where they're going and then get into their purpose, their life becomes more significant. Branding? It's like people don't think of branding as that, but that's what we do all day long. What a blessing. So imagine thriving. Focus on those individuals or groups that you clearly see impacting, and then create compelling, consistent language that transfers energy, so the words you speak transfer energy, shape your impacts, and attract exactly what you want to attract to make your impacts. It's a guarantee because it's the way it's defined. It's going to work because everything is impact driven. What a cool thing, huh? So, and it's all about love. It's all about love. That's the foundation of it. And it's also who's doing it. It's like one of the things I stand for. People call me a heart connector. It's a branding guy. It's okay, but hey. I mean, I used to, on my desired brand triangle, I used to have the word connecting as a characteristic. And so many people said, you're connected with my heart. I changed it to say heart connecting, because that's what people tell me it is, and it's part of the process. Phenomenal. And Ken, I think that's why you and I, we listen to each other talking. Man, there's something about him I really like. It's like,
yeah, it's true.
We have this kind of mutual admiration society.
It really, the dynamics that we have are, it's fun that way. And we're almost at the point where we could like finish each other's sentences, although we don't even know each other that well, but it really is, it's awesome. But isn't it energy? We do just attract each other's energy, and that's wonderful. It really is, it's special. It really is special. So I appreciate you and what you do. And I'm going to shut up and let you keep going because you're on a roll.
Well, words are energy. I mean, let's not kid around. If you said to me, Rich, what do you, oh, you're a branding consultant. Oh, dear, gee, you know, another one like wah, wah. Because everybody uses the word, right? Everybody uses the word branding. So it gets a bad rap because there's a lot of really bad branding out there. But so they say, okay, well, wow, what do you do? And if I say, well, I mean, words have energy. So if I say, well, I manage the 31 iterative steps of the branding continuum, first of all, you'll be asleep. But if I say, when it comes down to it, I put rocket fuel in your branding gas tank, just the words alone have a different energy. And so what if the words that you use to describe the brand to get credit were all congruent with your heart? Yeah. Okay. And seriously, I mean, people don't think about that. Well, we need a brand. They think a logo, you know, oh yeah. Well, I could talk for a week about logos. You want the 5 acid test, says what it does, easy to say, easy to spell, easy to remember, has legs. I can talk for a week. You ready? Let's go. I mean, I've been there. You want to talk about trademark? Want to talk about, you know, trade dress? I know things that people like couldn't even forget because they don't know, because I've been doing this for so long. But that's not the point. The point is, you think branding is about business and money. What if it's about impact and building a platform with your vehicle that you've been given as a gift so that you can step into your purpose and be even more abundant and create layers of legacy that you can pass on to the world and to your family and to others? It's like, branding? Yeah. Welcome to my world. What a blessing. And so, how do people get a feeling for that? Ken, do you mind if I mention the free website with the little, you know, 1, 2, 3 minute branding question videos?
Love it. And okay, by the way,
so
and let me also
yeah.
mention that those links are also going to be in the resource area on our dashboard. So if you go to worldloveweek.com/dashboard, we have it there as well. Or if it's not there the second, it will be. So so we have it there for you also.
Well, I'm going to do a little bit of a surprise. What's on that list
is surprises.
It's a kind of a Valentine's Day bonus. Little ready.
Could you do that? Could you do that again? Yeah, do that again. That was nice. Yeah. Okay.
So sorry, old school, the brand you will become.com. The brand you will become.com.
I love that.
I mean, the whole brand. Okay, but not just the business brand, the whole brand, like why you're here. Got it? Okay. The brand you will become.com. That gives you access to, I think there are 8 little 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, total 18 minutes videos answering really common branding questions with straight talk. Yes, it is I. My mother was an English teacher. It's a predicate nominative. It is I answering them with no airy fairy language like Ken was talking about. There's no essence talk. Okay, there's just straight answers about branding questions. Including the last one that says, why does Rich Brands only want to work with people determined to make an impact on others' lives in the world? So that's free. Go get them. And to get them, I'll get your email. And then anyone who just signs up for those and gets that, I'll get an email. I am going to send you a second gift. And it is a free ticket to a half-day event that I'm doing on the 27th of February called Branding You with Impact. And it is a charged event, but I will gift it to you. It's middle of the day if you're on the West Coast, Pacific time, it's 11 to 2:33, something like that. East Coast, it would be 8 to 12. Of the United States, sorry, because I know we've got people all over the world. So for the first time in your life, you come to that, you will hear and see and feel branding as a process that makes you more significant and enables you to step from your well-branded business platform into your purpose with ease. You'll see what it is, how it works, when you'll see how work becomes love and when branding becomes God's work. And I would love to get that to you. So www.thebrandyouwillbecome, sign up. When I get your email, I will send you the gift of the free ticket for that event.
That's awesome. And for those of you that watch this on a recording in a year or 6 months or whatever, sorry.
Well, I'll come up with something else.
Timing is of the
But
essence.
you'll start with the videos, and you'll watch those, and you'll either go, I love this guy straight talk, or you'll go, I want some essence. Where's the essence? And you're not my guy. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe you're not ready.
The whole piece.
If you're on this event, you're probably ready. So it's like, let's not get around.
That's true. Here's the thing. I like to be pragmatic about what we do, and I teach that way when I do my Pride event, for example, which I know you've been at.
Great event.
I thank you. It's great because of the people that show up, and the brand that comes with it is also the brand of transparency. So my whole perspective, and why I'm so happy to have you here, is that when we talk about branding, we talk about making an impact, and we talk about just doing business per se, when you come from truth and you come from your real purpose for hopefully serving your community, and I'm just not talking about your customers, which should be fundamental. It's serving your collaborators, serving your joint venture partners, serving your suppliers, serving even the Uber driver. The people that you're in contact with. If you don't,
just a choice.
Yeah. Is recognizing that you can't do what you do without everybody in that entire food chain, that entire supply chain, if you will. And that's critical. I mean, if you don't win the scenario, and you want to negotiate your best terms and your best deal and everything, but when you do it with integrity, and if you goof, we've had a lot of with this event, for example, we've had all sorts of fun technical challenges, opportunities to learn where things haven't worked, and we've had to pivot in a lot of ways over this past few days. But when you do it with the accountability that goes with it, people love that. Because
so I did want to make sure, I know we have a very little time, so I want to say where I'm going with this instead of starting a story. Here's where I'm going. It's going to end with saying the world seems to work against us until clarity comes.
Great.
And then things begin aligning because we make them align. So that's where I'm going. And I worked with Lisa Nichols with Motivating the Teen Spirit. Lisa's from the movie The Secret, and I worked with her for 3.5 years. What a God blessing she is to the universe. And she used to do, she taught emotional healthiness skills to teenagers, and talk about things like negative self-talk and the way, you were born perfect, but then things happen and you start, hearing things, oh, you're not that good. Oh, let your sister do it. Oh, you suck at this. You'll never amount to whatever. Right. And you start loading stuff, and then you start believing it. And then so you go get a good job. So you're going to prove that you're going to get this job. And then you get addicted to your job. Guilty. And then you realize your job's not why you're here. And the moment you choose, you know what, I'm going to reshape my life. Like, I resigned a career to reshape my life. That's pretty rare, and I was able to do it, so thank goodness. But most people can't. But when that clarity comes and you have something to give, and now everything is based on what I see when I thrive at that, and everything lines up, and the language aligns, because what comes out of our mouth creates the world. And so when the language aligns, and language is extremely important, the language of a brand that's consistent, and then it transfers energy. When all that aligns, the world aligns. And so really it feels like the world's working against us until clarity comes. What a blessing that all of us get to help others step into clarity.
Yeah, that's
and,
for sure.
With all the one woman who was on here before, with their heart and with their energy, with what their brand is, but they think it's just a business, and it's going to go beyond that. It's like it's going to be hard to get rid of me. Just be forewarned. But literally, I had a woman write me yesterday, a client. She goes, "You're stuck with me." I'm like, praise God. I'm like, all right, go.
I was gonna jump in and ask. You've been talking about question of clarity and the impact-driven statement. It's quite interesting actually, but I feel like I've seen you at the Pride event, and I've been there as well. And what I've noticed, including myself, is the fact that when we are trying to message our branding, that messaging part, sometimes we are lost in the clarity, and And so my question was around, how do you help your, client and to navigate to, to get that clarity toward their messaging and around their whole brand?
It's an excellent question, and I'll give you a simple answer, but I could talk for a year, but I'll give you a simple answer. There are 7 steps to impact-driven branding. And I don't have I'm preparing a landing page to offer an impact-driven branding blueprint on some advertising that we're doing, which says, here are the 7 steps, get started. So there's steps, there's just steps. One is imagine your brand thriving, writing down the who's and what's of the impacts, and then asking yourself, well, in order to make that impact, what must the brand become? Must it be technology centric? Must it be loving? Must it be, aggressive? Must it be strategic? It's like you ask yourself, and the process extracts what's necessary to make those impacts. It just lines up because of the process. And so it's not difficult. It's rigorous. It's not difficult. And so how I help is I facilitate the process, listen deeply with, I'm a certified trainer of neurolinguistics programming. So I listen with those ears. If they say this is a problem, I usually say, I think to myself, well, that's the presenting problem. Let's get to the real problem. But so I facilitate it. I even do it in groups and then we'll break out and people will help each other speed through the process. It becomes something that you can do. So I'm writing a book, which I can't hold up. It's called Impact Driven Branding, 7 Steps to Ensure Your Brand Impacts People's Lives and the World. It's steps. And there's a workbook. It's like, so the event that I'm going to give people to is kind of the what and why. The how event is a workshop in March on the 18th. That's like, well, we take one impact statement and you were working the whole way through the process and you look down and you go, wow, it's a process. Like I totally get it and I'm doing it. Yeah. Do you need a branding guru? No. Hallelujah. I mean, what, somebody thinks they need a branding guru. Hey, that's why I'm writing the book. So it's easier than people would think. And it's just a process.
Thank you. That answered my question pretty well. I'm pretty sure that book, when it come out, it will be a hit because with like you said, clarifying that message is very important. And if there's a step to guide you through that, then
if somebody sends me their email to rich@richbrands.org, just sends me an email, put me on the list for the book. rich@richbrands.org, and that includes you. rich@richbrands.org, just say, put me on the list for the book. Believe me, you'll get an invitation. It should publish, I'm thinking April. It's mid-April.
Okay. Well, awesome. Are you guys there? Okay. I think we went to silence for a second. We are at like, it's time to say goodbye. I feel like singing the time to, but we're not going to do that because I'm not a singer. Rich, I'm thrilled to have had you with us for this segment here. I know you're going to be back as one of our segment hosts over the next few days.
Oh, I'd love that. That would be really great.
I will coordinate that with you. I couldn't get you on today because we needed to make sure we dialed it in ourselves so we knew it was going to work and not going to work. So I want to thank you very much for being with us, and you and I'll be in touch to get those details.
And I'm here to support what you're doing. I love what you're doing, and thank you too. Thank you, both of you, for hosting this and creating World Love Week. God bless you.
And to you too. Hang out with us if you like, or hang out in the Facebook group, whatever. I'm going to bring Madeline on in a second here because she is amazing. Go ahead. I see your fingers. Go ahead.
And remember, now is the time to define the brand you will become.
Amen, brother. Thank you. Good work. Awesome. Thrilled to have you.
Take
We're
care.
gonna bring on. I love this man. He's awesome. And look also at his backdrop as to how he's very cleanly and clearly indicated who he is. I love it. Always have. It's great. And because it makes a statement without having